All right, let's try this again. We are live. I'm back. This is the Sam Crescent Art Show. I finally got my social stream chat to work again, the multi chat or whatever you call it, so I can see the messages from all the platforms that we're streaming on. Let's check out in really quick and make sure everything's working. Welcome, Twitch. Welcome to the stream. Kick, YouTube. Welcome, YouTube. Oh, I've got to hit that go live button on Facebook. And Facebook is starting up. Facebook is still starting. Okay, we are live on Facebook. I'm happy to be here. Sam Crescent. This is the Sam Crescent art stream where we're drawing stuff every single day. I'm going to get straight into it. I've actually been up since 5 a.m. messing around with different things that weren't working. Specifically, my social stream chat was not working. Trying to troubleshoot it, couldn't find any answers other than a lot of complex things that would take a long time. Eventually, I just closed it and reopened it numerous times, and it finally generated the window that I needed to see the multi-chat. Okay, let's draw right into it. Let's go right into Bridgman here. And we're going to draw from his book of 100 hands. And we are on page 50. We are now moving to the front of the hand. For the last several days, I've been doing drawing studies of the back of Bridgman's hands. And we're just going to get into it. And this is already, I'm off to the wrong start. So we're going to draw this paddle shape here and get this Bridgman hand done. Let's see how much I can remember without looking up at Bridgman's drawing. And it's about there. My angle's a little bit off. So up until now, I've been working through George Bridgman's book for quite some time, drawing hands. And it's been an interesting study of the rear palmar, or not palm, the dorsal view of the hand. And now we're looking at Bridgman's, this is the first page, and he's got 3, 4, 5 hands. Excuse me. He's got 5 hands on this page, and they're not very well developed drawings. They're very undeveloped. Let's stick this in the middle here. They're very undeveloped drawings as far as I'm concerned. It's pretty much just that. Let's go over it one more time. Maybe thicken up these lines a little bit and see what I can come up with here. What kind of little details we can notice. The box, he kind of has more of a box shape for the palm, for the I believe it's the thenar eminence, which is a whole bunch of muscles that abduct and move the thumb, and I believe they're called the opponens, or the pollicis, opponens pollicis, and all this kind of stuff. I don't really remember. You don't really see them individually. You just see the big pad of the thumb. We'll go over that in more detail. I could be incorrect, as my memory sometimes doesn't quite get these things in all the way. So that's basically it for there. Pull that through. And then he's got both the middle finger and ring finger just wedged together, and we'll keep that. Come out, and for his pinky, we're going to develop it a little bit more. I don't really like his what he did as much. And then he comes out there, and he's got a line coming in here, and then he pulls this down somewhere around there. All right, I'm gonna blow my nose. And And I'm not going to apologize for that anymore. I'm decided that I'm just going to embrace my grossness and allow things to be the way they are. Okay, so now the next one is very similar here, but he extends his thumb this way more, arches it in, angles it there, kind of like that. Here, hooks that in, shows that palmaris longus muscle. Knuckles dropped back a little bit. Pinch here on the wrist. And coming up here, through here. There we go with that. And then let's go here and we'll get this one. And again, he's got this as just a mass. He did a nice little overlap, and then he's got this a different kind of a gesture with the pinky that's pretty neat. There, coming in, bringing that down. Kind of got some rendering in here, and there. So something like that. We'll thicken this bad boy up a little bit. Just get some heavier lines so I can kind of see what we're dealing with. A mass, a pinky, and here's where I want to kind of get this a little better. He kind of wedges that there. An angle in and a bump. And then from this bump, it cuts in here, there, something like that. All right, let's take another one. And now he's going to rotate, or we're going to show the other side of the hand. This time it's going to go here, this way. Got this. The pad of the thumb. And comes down. Hooks there. There, I'm going to turn off the onion skin right now. Don't feel like I need it quite at this moment. Hooks this, and this is interesting. He literally does this as just a big mass. Kind of it, but we need to fix this up a little bit. It's not exactly right. So let's see where we can fix this. Comes here. Okay, does not have a sharp angle on there. It does not have a sharp angle. So this is here. Curves. Curves here, comes like that. In here and up. This is angling that way. So let's go to, I need to get something on my eraser so that I know where it is. Still need to concentrate quite a bit for this. It's a little bit hard for me. Okay, bring that out and angle it harder. And let's see what we're dealing with here. Got this here, and see what's going on is that the thumb is placed differently. So it's got a thing there, and the thumb is here. In there. understand why I'm having such a hard time with this hand. A lot of times it's these simplified hands that are the most difficult to draw for me. Probably because there's just less to grab onto. You have to say more with fewer lines, and so it gets way harder. I really dislike my drawing of this. That is actually about what I did. Look at his angle. Yeah, that I'm looking at the angles, and that's pretty much it right there. I might make that a little smaller, but I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it. That's more or less what he's got. Not great. Let's go to the next one here. Onion skin that, and let's see what we have here. Okay, so this one might be a little bit easier. Okay, we're back to the thumb being on this side. So go with one here. All right, well, I don't know how to rearrange the frames yet in this program. So we've got a big shape, strong shape there. Here. Turn off the onion skins. And the pinky's coming down. Kind of wedges it. The triangular shape here. Okay. This is just a math that he did for that. Now he's got the thumb here, so it's an interesting perspective. That. Or there, out, and that. So more here, here, and then we have this down. Now I may have gone a little bit too far with that, although no, his is like really out there even more. He kind of, for Bridgman's, he actually has this curved even more here. But I really dislike these hands that I'm coming up with here. They're not looking good. Let's try one more, and I think I'm going to try these again. I'm going to get a trajectory going, because even then, it still helps me get this thing put together better. More this way. There. And there. Okay, now here's where we have a mass for the two fingers. So it's, I mean, I think that's the main point of these sketches, is he's showing how you can kind of mass those two fingers together, and then everything else just kind of goes. This is much better. And part of the reason I'm having an easier time is I kind of laid in as for whatever reason, I just draw better when I just throw down some kind of trajectory of where the drawing is supposed to be going. So that one's much better. Let's do another one. Let's just try to get these to work a little more. Let's do this one that gave me problems before. Let's kind of get this more boxy shape here. Sort of paddle shape. Here, here. Like that. Okay, let's see what we got here. We've got, look at the exact angle. It's right about there. One comes out. Actually, we've got like a couple of wedging shapes here. We've got one that's going here. I'm going to over exaggerate what he's got. He's got this kind of diamond shape is what I started making. And then he intersects it with the pinky here. The diamond shape there. Down. That's another diamond shape there. And then come here. Wow, where did my stylus go? Come here. And drawing is it's just endless study. And fundamentals can get boring. I don't find them boring because I like the challenge of it. And I'm at a point in my drawing where I see the direct benefit right away. So it's not hard for me to do them. This is angling, kind of goes here. There. That's the mass of those two fingers. And then we've got this thumb action here. Coming across there. This one is there we go. Coming out there. Bring this in here and wedge this up. And then, okay, I see I missed this ramp. That ramp there. And then this is going to go down. That's already much better. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, I've got to handle something really quick. My phone's about to die. Let me get that on charge. I've got to grab my iPad. I'll be right back. Got the right alert. Yep. All right, that's taken care of. All right, I'm back. I trade a lot of stock options, and I do a lot of leaps, and then I have specific price targets I'm hitting when I sell those leaps, and that my phone, I've set it up so it alerts me when I hit a target to check it and potentially close the trade. And that's what I just did. Okay, we've got the Streambow guy back. Okay, let's see here. I think that's it for Bridgman. We've been going for 20 minutes. That was a good study of the hands of Bridgman. I've been drawing in this animation version, thinking that eventually I will do something. Need to hold those frames a little longer, but it's kind of cool to kind of make this stuff do things like that. Let's see here. Okay, so let's click out of that, and got the rotating cube animation. I could work on that some more and try to fix it up a little bit, but I think I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do that at the end, because I do want to keep making progress on it, and specifically, where's my guy? Let's get here. Specifically, I'm gonna work on this now since I fixed that. But let's get right into the comic book. We've been drawing in the background. You know what I'm gonna do is I've been putting these like little sticky tabs on my keyboard on different hotkeys so that I can find them really easily and quickly. And I want to put one on another hotkey that I'm reaching for so that I don't even have to look at the keyboard when I'm working. I can just feel for these tabs, and then I know where I am. And I can keep my eyes here, and I can keep working maybe a little faster. Now let's go to. We're gonna turn off panel 1. We're gonna turn off. What is this? Oh, that's the background. Let's label that. This is we'll call BG as background P1, so we know what that is. Oh, we better say what it is. Line art. Okay, so see, I can type without looking at my keyboard, no problem. But I want to be able to get to my hotkeys with one hand over here while I'm drawing and looking at the computer. So I'm kind of setting up my own Braille system for that. Okay, so you turn that off. We're going to turn off panel 3. And what we're going to do is we're going to do, for the background for that, what we were going to do is take this one, and we're just going to copy it, shrink it down, and paste it in. So let's do that, because that'll take only a minute. So let's go duplicate layer, and then turn that off. See here, because we're just looking at a small snippet of this part. So, you know, we'd basically be there. I think that's it right there. That's the scene. And that's going to be easier, more consistent than, yeah. And they're about to walk off a cliff. So let's adjust this a little bit more. Maybe put it here, maybe a little bit. And that's kind of cool because now it's kind of panned down. There we go. That's great. So do that. Now let's put a layer mask over it. Yes, apply the transformation. And we want the rectangle selector. Just gonna go like this, and okay, that's not what we wanted. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so Clip Studio, I'm still learning Clip, but I'm actually liking it a lot more than Photoshop. Like way more. It's so much better for art. If I go here and then I do that, makes it perfect. It's perfect. Perfect. Okay, cool. So we taking care of that. So this is just change the name here. So this is panel 2. Okay, so now we've got panel 1, panel 2. We need panel 3. And panel 3 is this one. And we already have this. I'm going to turn off P1. And we just need to draw this background. Now, we want to draw this background. Sorry, as I think through this. Panel 3, BG. Start with BG, background. P3, line art. Get it in the right order, which is going to go there. Panel 2 is going to go on top of panel 1. Panel 1 is going to go on top of panel 3. Turn this off, and then let me see what I'm looking at here. I kind of need... What do we got going on here? Nothing. And my phone just came uncharged again. I need to keep it charging. Okay. Now I've got to remember how this looks. So I do need open. So I'm dealing with the city here, and we kind of have... I feel like I'm going to get drifting. You know, if I just draw it from scratch, it's not going to be the same. Let's copy this one again, duplicate layer, and turn this one off. Let's put it where it goes, and then I think we can just manipulate it in to where it's supposed to be, and it's going to be more accurate. So we kind of are here. And it's going to be smaller. So our characters are small. Let's turn on our characters. That's going to help too. Apply that transformation. Let's turn on our characters. And so pretty much we just had to draw one background for this page. Yeah. Okay, we're more here. We'll make this even smaller. Like that's how it's supposed to go. About there, like that. Oh, I see. This is not... No, we don't need this. This is different. Because these guys are walking a totally different direction. So, let's delete this. So, here's why this is wrong. So, I'll explain the way the shot's working. You have all the characters meeting here in panel 1. Got the background, and we're looking from over the shoulder of Jugman and Gorilla. We have the city in the background. They've climbed up here. He starts climbing up this cliff, and so now we're on top of the cliff looking down, and we're looking up from up here this way at these guys walking away out there. So we just make up a brand new background. It does not have to be doesn't have to have the city in it. It doesn't have to be any of the stuff that we did. So let's turn this off, and let's just make it a layer for it again, which is here. BGP. Oh, did I already make one here? Looks like I already made one. Yeah, I got one there already. All right, so now that I've got my bearings about me, let's just draw something cool. Wrong tool. All right. I kind of want to have this sort of shape, S curve kind of shape coming in like that, pointing to our characters here, leading us to where they're going. We can put some rocks in here. I'll put some foliage down there to kind of block this corner off. Got another rock maybe right here. A little bit of some like pebbles and indications of rubble. And where is this path going to lead? I could lead them like off the page, and that kind of leads you this way to the next page. So I'm going to keep it going like this and make it kind of just go off the page there. Let's turn this off now so we can fill this with some foliage here. I'm just drawing some different kind of planty looking things. So let's see, it is 6:47 right now on Friday, May 29, 2026. May is basically just about over, and we're going to be on to the next month. Man, time goes by fast. Things just keep moving along, and I'm okay with that. I do have a few projects that I've been neglecting, though, that I've got to figure out how to pick up the ball with it. Got a couple freelance jobs that I really need to knock out and get off my plate. And I got to make some progress on those. Literally, I got to do some progress today. Now, it's a big day today. I should be taking delivery of my new press. We'll see. I mean, things could go awry, and we might not get it. But it should be out for delivery. We'll find out. I'm hoping that everything goes as planned, and I'll have that new press today, and then I'm going to be printing a lot for the next couple of days, just trying to get ready for Phoenix Fan Fusion. All right, it's just things distracting me that I need to ignore. I should put my phone in a Faraday pouch while I do this. In fact, that would be a pretty good idea. Making some sort of like weird viney thing going through this. So we've got all this foliage back here, and I'm purposely illustrating more than I need so that we can parallax the camera when it's time to do animation. Well, it is the weekend. I hope everybody has some big plans. gonna do some fun things. I personally am not. I'm gonna be basically working all weekend, getting ready for Phoenix Fan Fusion. I'm gonna be trying to get all the stuff that's sold out restocked, hopefully once and for all. But we'll find out. We'll see how it goes. Now for here, let's see here. We kind of draw something like that. And we'll just kind of put some rocks in perspective here. Work them through this way. Whoops. And we'll keep this path kind of going, leading up to where that guy is. Now, back here, it's fine. We want to put some stuff like this here, maybe. A couple boulders. That, and then let's go. Let's put some jungle here. Before we do that, though, we'll do some plants here. Right. Background stuff there. Just gonna try and get some gestural outflowing going here. What we can do, kind of get some weeds here, and then looks like we just have sort of like some mountains back here, like that. Get a tree coming up like this here. That's gonna get cut off. It's gonna be covered by this guy, so kind of not really worth doing anything there. Because if we look at this, it's like be better off just doing some brush coming down here like that, and that would be good for that. Kind of some plants growing in here, a couple more plants there, and then this looks pretty good if we go here, and have that, and then it kind of there. I think it would be nice to have a canyon wall like this actually to do that. So I'm gonna change my mind on this. So what happens when you're just making things up as you go? I don't know until I kind of lay it down, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna look cool. We'll do that. And then maybe like a cloud here, some cloud there, like that. Cool. And that all ties together. Okay, we've got a trajectory. We know what we're doing now. If we put the characters on, it's gonna, most of it's gonna be covered. But let's finish this off. It's not gonna take long. Get a good pin here. Erase. I'm still learning these. All right, get some erase going. Back to my pen. let's go back to the eraser here. Back to the pen. Okay. I'm going to get this foliage laid in. That's looking pretty cool. Another plant coming here. Actually make this come over the top of that. Oh, what do we got here? We're going with this. Bringing things through. Shadows under there. Yeah, and the foliage is coming together. It might look a little sketchy, but trust me, when it's all colored up, it's gonna pop just fine. Also, I'll go through with the G-pen and kind of pop some shadows down on this. I don't need to look. I can feel where it is. I'm still, by habit, looking down at the keyboard when I don't actually need to anymore. There's some viney stuff there. There. And then we've got some tangents here. We'll rectify that. Pull this in. Gonna clean up our lines there a little bit. No. What was I drawing here? Now I don't remember. I had that. We had this. This is foreground element. The foreground element there. And then this is coming. You know, something like that. There. All right, that's looking pretty good to me. I think we have a cool little background there. Let's turn off this. And it makes things a little bit more clear as to what's what. I'm gonna go to this G pen. Start dropping in some different kind of like shadow shapes and uh, things of that nature. A few little line weights here and there, just so it make a little bit more sense out of this kind of thing that we have going on here. Hear that. I think that's pretty good right there. Let's see what we have with these guys. Let's drop in the flats for this, because that way it'll be read more easily. So this is going to be B G P 3 flat. We'll make a folder for all of this, and it'll be background P3. Let's write it all out. Let's see here. So don't really want to do that first. Let's start with back here. The main reason I'm doing this, getting the basic flats put in here, is because I want to make sure that when I send this to the flatter, I want to make sure that they understand what's what, and then so they're basically just going to be flattening some of the detail stuff, because I just want them to know what shapes are what, because it's a little bit maybe confusing. But once I have everything flatted, it's actually gonna make sense, and people will be like, "Oh, I see what that is." Just like by knowing that this is the sky, makes it a little easier to read. Now we'll go with a brownish red color, kind of light. And I'll go here. Whoops. Kind of going outside the lines, maybe a bit much. Let's get a little more white into that. There we go. So clean this up here. This way, there's no ambiguity as far as what's what. It's all pretty well laid out. Let's see here. All right, that's good. Now we'll hit the foreground. Well, we'll just a little darker red. And it's a little too strong. There we go. This will go through the middle of this, and we'll bring it here. That. Get all this. Okay, so now let's just clean up things a little bit. Good. Okay, now we'll get the whoops. Now we'll get the green. Ah. All right. So I'm gonna we're gonna flat in these bushes. And that'll pretty much get us rest of the way on this. Now, as I've gotten older, I've just learned to kind of embrace my grossness. Oh, we're not going there. Mistake. See where we're going with this. And we'll just clean up this flat layer here. All right, let's see where we're at with this here. Pretty good. This kind of detail around here where we kind of missed stuff. We want to make sure we're butt to butt on the edges of this art. By dropping in those bushes or these plants, the foliage, now we can see, it's easier to kind of see what I made here. Where before, when it was just a line art, it might be a little difficult to determine like what was what. And if it was going to be just black and white, I'd have to do more rendering to really show where everything is. But because the piece will ultimately be color, we can use the color to help describe things. This is not the most exciting part of making comic books, though. This is pretty much just monotonous kind of task stuff. The nice thing, though, about it is that you do kind of get to see what you drew. You kind of get to see it come together. Okay, let's get this one needs to get filled in more. Let's do that here. Okay, let's see here. Now, with this, we'll go a little darker. And we'll get this thing here. No, we don't want to go there. I am glad I did this because even I am not remembering what's what. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's what that's supposed to be. That's what that's supposed to be. Okay, that's pretty good. I think this is part of it. Okay, let's see here. Took way too long, but we got that done. Now let's get this stuff. We can do this faster maybe with this marquee tool. And this is just like, for me, this kind of just like watching paint dry, doing this step, but I feel like I need to just have this clarity for the next guy or things are going to get lost. Get some stuff here. Let's get these plants. Get off my screen. Darn, I went way out the line. Good news is, though, I will have finished this page by today. At least all the line art and everything. It's just ready to be handed off to the colorist. So that's good because it's another page down, and then I start working on the next one. And we're literally, 100 plus pages deep now into this. And we're going to keep going deeper, see what happens. Eventually, there'll be a point, actually sooner than later, where I'll have produced over 1,000 pages of comics. And that'd be a good thing to achieve in your lifetime, 1,000 pages of comics. You know, it's a considerable body of work. And I'm actually already, time I get to this, done with this, I'll be at somewhere around, so the first 3 issues are, we've got 32 pages. Whoops. We've got 32 pages. For the first book, 42 for the second book, and I think 34 or something for the third. So between all of those, we're at, it's about 100 pages right there, the first 3 comics, right? So maybe a little more, actually. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Yeah, we're just over 100. So just over 100 pages there. And then this story arc right now is, I think we're about 105 pages. So that's 205 pages. And then the next story arc after this is going to be about 40. So that'd be 240. And then we have the next one, which is another 100. So that'd be 300. So, nah, I'm not even halfway there yet. But I think there's a good chance I could get there. Okay, let's draw. Let's do some more of this guy. And I think this is supposed to be this thing traveling through behind the foliage. I'll do that. All right, 7:23. We've been going for an hour now. And it's not bad. We did about 20 minutes of Bridgman, drawing hands and such. Then we did a background drawing, which was like another 20 minutes. And then we've just been flattening. Flattening this stuff here. Gotta keep the focus sustained. Just kind of want to tighten up these flats, make sure we're not just happened. I should save my work. I'm going to do that right now. It's something that I need to. Why am I getting these, man? We need to fix up over here. All right. Here. I think that's enough. Got that. We drop in outline art. Drop in that one. P1, P2, P3. So really, that's kind of like all you're gonna really see is that. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna flat one more area on this background because it's not gonna be clear to everyone. It's subtle. I'm gonna go here. Take this. We'll drop it down a little darker. Uh. Cut off this part of the selection. I think I gotta fix this line, this area here. Okay. There we go. Well, that kind of helped me see some of this problem. Why is that selecting so weird? It's all one layer. I don't know why it's overlapping by so much. It's a little strange, man. Maybe turn the tolerance down? What the heck is the deal with that? Why is it going all the way over there? I don't get it. Turn off the line art really quick. I'm gonna have to manually deal with. There's something wrong with the settings on that brush, on that selector. All right, that's it. Oops. What the heck? Okay. Hmm. Probably the worst flat job I've ever done here. Ugh. All right, but at least we've got some more. What's what? Saving that. Okay, that's it for that page. I'm gonna move on. We gotta do some color adjustments. And next week we'll start on a new page. Sending this to the colorist slash flatter to flat out the rest of this thing. It's gonna be a lot of work to finish it, but it'll look good. This is a cool page. So let's file, save, close that one. We're gonna work this one. This one we're gonna go file, save as, and it's today is 5:30, 29, 26. Warm up. I just save my warm ups and date them, so I just have this log of all this stuff that I've drawn. Okay, close that, minimize this. Switch over to Photoshop for this part. And that. Let's see here. All right, we're back in action. Okay, so what I have left to do here is I need to switch these trees so that they match those trees. So I'm wondering if I could just do that with the flat colors. Great. And so a little more like it. Put a little more gray. That looks a little bit more like what we've got in the other panels. So we'll go with that. Now for this panel, overwhelmed. Do I really want to do much for this? I mean, this is pretty good, but I want to put just a little bit of texture on there. So where are we at here? So this is all panel 4. Yeah. And that's going to get duplicated and put down there. So let's do this panel, panel 5. What we need to do for it is, I'm not going to have panel borders. Hey, a lot of it's already been done. I think I already did some dark noise on the ground. But I don't see a texture layer anyplace. I'm just going to make a dark texture, see if this works. And then we want it to be a brown color. Set this to multiply. No, I want to go to this chunky charcoal is pretty good. Let's see if this is. No, we want a different charcoal. That one's not the right one. Here we go. Something like this, maybe. That, like this is good. Yeah, that's better. Let's make this a little bit darker. Don't have that selected. And I'm on the wrong layer. That's why I'm having all these problems. There we go. Now let's just give it some gradation here. And then we can knock down the opacity. Really all that needs. Now I put some on the trees. And let's looks more brown on that. I think what I did was just delete it. There we go. Now we've got the same color coming through. That looks better. Go a little bit darker down here. Brush. Okay. Now I want some noise on those. Let's just use that. And we'll make this thing smaller. There's something there. Let's see. Let me get some on this tree here. Now let's get some highlights going. See how this one looks. It's cool. Oh, but effective. Now we need to get some noise on that and color holds. Maybe a little bit more reinforcement on these cell shadows too. And I missed that tree, so let's get that tree there. All right, now this bush. For that I'm using the grainy noise. Nodding spray. Where is it? There we go. Basically it right there. All right, I'm gonna go to the color hold. We could put a little bit of noise on. We'll put a little bit more noise on that. And we'll go to the color holds. So I need to take a break and then kind of recalibrate and start talking a little bit more, making this a little more interesting to watch, because right now this is pretty abysmal. think that's good enough. All right, so for the line art, a little darker. There we go. I got to do that still. Kind of missed it. It's okay. Go a little bit darker. There we go. Okay, where are we at with this? All right, so we got the background layer, color holds on. Now there's a few little areas that are missed. So let's get those in. We've got this little section here, then nothing happened, and we got that there. So we want to go to here first. That's good. Let's just go here. All right, let's see here. I was just looking. That's pretty good. Let's delete out some of the line art that we're not using. Yeah, that's good. All right. This. I'm thinking a little tad darker actually. Gonna be a little better. Gonna keep them on the forefront of the. I'm just putting color holds on all of these gorillas, these monkeys. They're not gorillas, these chimps, whatever they are, in order to kind of integrate them into the piece more. Also gives it a little bit more painterly quality, which is what I'm aiming for in this book. There's Baby Monkey right there. And that's a great little shot of Baby Monkey. It really captures his personality and everything. Very much like it. Okay. We did a color hold on Jungle Man too. Jungle Dude actually is what this guy's name is. So we've got Jungle Dude, and he's upset with this troop of monkeys for some reason. You'll have to wait to find out. And I guess if you watched every live stream, you'd get a pretty good idea of, you know, you might know most of the comic, but nobody's going to do that. All right, now what I want to do is hit do Sam's cell shading. Switch to like a blue. See how this is. Something darker. Yeah, that'll work. I just want to really define the underplane of these trees. This is, you know, turning under, so I'm going to make it even darker down there. Like a lot of things, making comic books is largely just a patience game. Really significant patience game for me, I feel like. I feel like I've been working on these for a very long time. Okay. That panel's done. I'm going to save it. Oh. And so tomorrow, just have this middle one that I need to do some work on. And then I just duplicate this one, put it down there. And this page will be complete, like all the color adjustments will be completed. All right, let's save that. And file. All right, I've got a few things I need to open now. So you need this page open. I'm gonna do 2 pages here today. And I'm gonna opening everything that needs to be done here. Open that one. It's a cool page actually. File. Open that. And oh, I'm dying here. Need to keep powering through, right? Let me open 2 more. We gotta do 2 zombie commands. So, on war, zombie archive, zombie command backgrounds, colored. We'll just do the fire station. Open that one. And then I gotta adjust my here's open with this has to be adjusted. Okay, no big deal. Start here. I feel like I need to take a break and then I'll be back. Oh, I'm just feeling really beat down right now. All of a sudden, the things hit me. I'll be right back. back. I've got to make one of those be right back screens. Anyway, here we are. Okay. Apologize for that. We're back. I had to throw some hard-boiled eggs on, ate a protein bar, so I had something blood sugar there, and now things should be better. All right, let's do this one first, and then I'll do the other one. So for this one, all I'm gonna do is just what I've been doing. Is I use the coloring technique on here that you've got a dark color and a light color here interacting with each other. It made a cool effect for this whole thing, but what I want to do is just calm it down a little bit on the characters here. So that they pop off these backgrounds a little bit more. And then these pages are ready for print. Like I'm sending these to the printer. I'm sending this book to the printer as soon as I've done formatting all of the pages. I'm gonna have 1,000 copies made, and that way I'll get a low cost on the print run, and I'll be able to. I'm gonna create this thing called the battle pack. Where it'll be a screen printed collector's box that I design. It's going to come with all of the comics and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So the battle pack first step is just getting all of the products, all of the things that I'm making put into the battle pack, because it's going to be really rad. We'll get this alien as well. Get this guy also, so he's popping out. He's pretty central to the story here. But I've like had to work my way through these books so many times. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is oh, I didn't get down there. Let's do that. Okay, and this guy up here, we want him to pop. All right, let's duplicate this layer. Duplicate layer. Okay, just duplicate it, please. Okay, now turn this one off, and this one we're gonna just let's go over here. We'll go here. This doesn't take long, and knock that out. What? See here. What time is it? 8 o'clock. 8:17. Okay. And then on this one, we're gonna go invert. Knock that out. Now we have what we had. And then I believe this is the characters. Yeah, so see how those characters all get way brighter when we turn that off. So what I'm going to do is knock this all the way down to 0. And we'll just pull it up just enough so that we have some of that integration there. I think that's pretty good. I do want to have a little bit of this showing up because I think 25 is about where the sweet spot is for everything. Yeah, we'll go right with that. Okay, that's cool. All right, then is there letters? Yes. Got some letters here. So let's go. Whoa, we got a huge mess up here. So what happened is fix this really quick. It shouldn't be too tough to correct this. And get this here. There we go with that. Save that. Let's go select all, copy merged. Drop it into here. Delete this one off. Save it as the correct thing. And this is page 13. Save that. And let's resize. Come on, save already, man. Thinking dialog boxes. Want to resize this so that it all fits in the live area. I feel like it's got to be about there. I mean, if I go a little bigger, we're still safe. This is the one that's like getting a little too close for comfort, maybe. I think it's okay. Now let's see if we can just expand this freaking thing so that it fills correctly. Expand. Area match. if it'll do that. Otherwise, I'll have to clone it in, which takes only take me half an hour. Okay, it looks like it did it right. Thank goodness. Something actually worked. See if there's anything that looks weird. I think it got it. I mean, that's basically my art that it just did the clone tool for me. All right, wonderful. So this page is done. Now, let's close it down. We need to do this one. For this one, we've got to make, man, image size. The width has to be 14. We got to unlock this. Let's cancel that. Command canvas size. So, what are you doing over here? For the canvas size, the width has to be 14 for the 2-page spread. Height stays the same. Now, our bleed areas are wrong as far as these go. So let's see if we can. Let's do this. So something like that. Okay. Let's name this the right thing file before we accidentally hit the save button and end up with what we don't want to have. And this is going to be page 10 and 11. Okay. Now when it comes to these, see if I remember how to move these. This is going to be window. What are these things called? Layer, they're I don't remember what you call these. But essentially it's just that much. So you just want a line there. They're called guides, right? Well, let me do it. What the heck? Oh, okay, that's why nothing was happened. Save as. 10 and 11. Save. I hate these stinking dialog boxes, man. It's like a million of them. Okay, so now snap to guides. A new guide. So put it there. How do you move your guides? Oh, okay, you do it like that. Okay, so now I know how this works. Is that it? Could have been there. That is the non-safe area. These ones we don't really need. There. Right there. Okay. And this one here. Well, we'll leave it as that. We've got the guides in place. These ones are out a little wider. It doesn't matter. Let's see what we got. We're just going to find this one. There's no letters on this, or is there? There is. So keep the letters on. Select all. Edit. Copy and merged. Go here. And scale the size. That's what we want right there. We want full bleed. Looks good. Looks cool. I'm gonna bring it to there. Boom. That's killer. Delete this off. This is a great page. This page was by me and AJ Fulcher. And man, we knocked this one out of the park. Super cool page. All right. That one's done. So we formatted 2 pages for. Oh, but I forgot. Do I want to make this guy? You know, that's fine. I could make that guy brighter. Maybe I should. Move this thing. All right, that's pretty good. Yeah, I definitely like that better with like 25%. It just pops. Just pops them more. Let's reopen that recent one. Okay, we're gonna redo this. Drop that in. Duplicate
can get it to line up here again. Pretty good right there. Yeah, and you see, okay, we can make this one a little, oh, that's about right. You see how he pops out more? I like that better. All right, page is done. Page 11 and 12. There's a print, so I'm almost halfway through it, I think. Okay, this one, we need to create some guides for this. So let's go with, I forgot how I moved the guide around. There it is. Is this inches or what is this? Nah, this is inches. So we're gonna go in at go in there. And then we want view. Why is that in the wrong spot? All right, we'll go there. Okay. Now. Okay, let's move these up. That can stay, that can stay. So let's just mark this as green because it's good. That's gonna need to move. think that's it. Good there. And then good there. I think we're safe now. Live every day. Then this watch me work part.
Big event. Right?
No. Move it there. All right, that should be better. Save that, and then we'll go File, Export. I want this to be PDF front. I don't know if that's the front or the back. It doesn't matter. I hate this, man. Just save it. Gotta disable those dialog boxes because they slow me down. So here's the back. And for the back one, drop that below. Move it over. Where's the live every day? Move that. Basically, I'm going to start passing these out at conventions and stuff. So people like know that I'm on here doing everything. YouTube. Kick. We need a Facebook. That should work. Now we're well above. Where it should be. Okay, so that should be good. And then this one we're gonna save as PDF back. I think I've got to redo the front. Now let's file, export this. The heck, man. Um, I think that's done. Double check here. All right, that should do it. So I gotta send that to the printer once the stream's done. Okay, so now we just want to get, is this one. This one's done. Let's close this one. Now I just want to get this ready. So for this one, I don't really mind this backlighting. I'm just gonna take it down a slight smidge so that this is unequivocally the brightest thing. That's good. Now we're gonna put some texture on this. Let's drop some noise on it first. So file, open recent. Open the bus station here. I'm gonna select all, copy, throw that down. over the top of everything. Set this to overlay. And then I think it was like about 25%. I think that's pretty good. I think that's what we were on here, yeah. Okay, so we've got the bus stop in there. It still kind of bothers me, these windows being so bright right there. Yeah, that's way better. Let me just get it the right. It's not popping out so much. I think it's better without that. So, I guess I feel like that just yellows it up. So now for this one, we're going to add a texture layer. Be texture dark. And we'll do a texture light. Set this one to add. Set this one to multiply. Pick a brush here. We're going to go with some like ink splatter stuff to start. And let's just pick a color from here. So let's turn this off because that's changing the color profile. And I want to kind of just get don't really like the perspective of that, but changing the perspective on this splatter a little bit. There we go. Some other brush here. Go. Let's get some stuff on these bricks. I want to go the other direction. Pretty good there. Let's do something on the window. For the window, we'll just go with some noise here. This stuff here. See how this is here. There. Switch it up to something else. See how this is. Did I just do that on the flats layer? I think I did. I like that. Pretty cool. Wrong place. Pretty much does it for that. Now we got to put some text on here. I don't know what that is. Let's go with a. It's like a Times Roman or something like that. Would be simple enough. It's HK element of PQRST. What the heck, man? Why can I? What is all this N stuff? Let's go with this. Here. I don't know why it's on that stupid Bada Boom. We just give it a number there. We don't have to put the permit. We just put in a number there. I feel like helps. Okay, let's. Transform. You. You have to rasterize this. It's just not gonna like let me do what I want. I want to stretch this just a little bit. Why the hell, man? Whatever, I'm just gonna leave it. It's driving me nuts. And then put fire. I don't have a name for the city, so we're just gonna put fire. Who's this guy here? Now let's go here. There's no texture on that, so it doesn't matter. But we do need to do a little bit of perspective. So let's just yeah, that looks kind of cool. I'll just keep doing it. And kind of just kind of giving a little bit more dimensionality to these letters. No good. We'll get something on this too. A little bit lighter down here. Push it all more into the white. That's cool. That works well enough. Um, other way I could do it is if they're inset. Could do it like this. No good. Let me try that again. But I don't want it to look like the light's hitting it from the top, because the light should be hitting it from the bottom. To me, that looks like the light's hitting it from the top. See, the idea is that the light's coming up, and if this is inset, it's going to hit the top ridge. Bring it down, but I don't know, man. That's pretty good right there. Let's throw that. We'll not do this one. We'll try to do that lighting there. See how it goes. All right, I think this page is done. One thing I don't like is this. Don't like that. That's good. All right, that page is done. 9 o'clock. I'm gonna stop here for the day. There's a lot more things that need to get done. I'll be back tomorrow with a new stream.